Hello, welcome to Mrs. Patterson's Homework Help. This is still for Chapter 1, and now we're doing Lesson 4. Alrighty, let me show you what we got here. Today's homework page is page 33. And 34. Again, if you would like to pause the video, copy down the worksheet if you're absent, or if you misplaced it back at school, this is a great opportunity for you to see what the homework is. Okay, now for this lesson, they want us to put numbers in order. And this definitely is a little tricky for kids. And like I mentioned a couple of lessons ago, I really like to use lined paper to put numbers in order. It really helps keep everything, in the right columns, and it's much easier to do. So I'm going to demonstrate doing that. So anyway, we're having to, and this is another thing. They love to do this to you guys as well, is they want the greatest to the least. Well, a lot of times they'll say least to greatest. So always make sure you see exactly which way they want us to go, okay? Notice how they have it two different ways. Well, it's because you could be asked to do it either way. But using the same tool, it doesn't matter. So this time we're starting with big and going to least. So I have 3 different numbers here. And they all have the same digits. They all have 5 digits, so that's kind of nice to know. Get a lined piece of paper, turn it sideways. And we have 59,909. I like to keep my commas in there to make sure that I have it lined up. 95,509. And 59,919. Okay. So we're looking to see the biggest to the smallest. And we always start comparing over on the left-hand side, okay? So there isn't a digit over here. They all start at the 10,000s place, so we can start comparing here. We have 2 that are 5 and 1 that's 9. Obviously, 9's bigger than 5. So we know right now that this number is the largest. And so I'm going to put that as number 1, okay? So I know I'm done with that number. Now I need to compare this number and this number. It's kind of like alphabetical order. When you have 2 words that start with the same number or letter, then you know to go to the next letter and then to the next letter to see which order it is. It's the same thing with numbers. So both of these start with 5 in the 10,000s place. So let's look at the thousands place. A 9 and a 9. Those are the same. Okay? Let's go to the next place. 9 and a 9. Holy cow, it's really close. I see a difference. 0 and a 1. Well, which is bigger? The 1. 1's bigger than 0. So this is going to be the next largest, and this is going to be the smallest. Okay? See how I did that? Now you can do things like cross off the ones that you've already done so you don't get those confused. That's always a good strategy. I just didn't want to block off what I was doing there. Okay, and another thing too that I like to do, rather than rewriting the numbers, I then like to label the numbers. So I know that 95,509 is the greatest. I know this is 59,919 is the second greatest, and this is the smallest. That way you're not rewriting the numbers and it gets very confusing. Okay? Let's look at what they have here. Now they want us to do from the least to the greatest. I don't see any trickiness there. I'm not worried about that. Let's flip it over and see what we got on the other side. They're all the same digits. It should be pretty simple. Again, we have word problems now. So you just need to go through and figure out, hey, this is where I've got information. They're probably going to ask to have me put it in least to greatest or greatest to least, and it's greatest to least. Okay. I do want to go over one thing, and I am not sure if it's going to come up on this homework or future homework, but what do you do when you have a number that has a different amount of digits? Say, what if we had 2,000,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one that's 5, 9, 2, I'm just making up numbers. And now I happen to actually put them in number order. I didn't plan to do that. But when you still start comparing over here. If you've got a number here and there's no other numbers in these other ones here, that means that this is going to be your greatest number. Okay? Then you keep comparing, then you know, oh, okay, 5 and 0, this is my next greatest number, and then this is my smallest number. Okay? So you always start your comparison on this side, even if there's different digits, and you can put in zeros to kind of keep the comparison the same, and you can make sure that you've got it all lined up correctly that way. Just be careful. They sometimes ask for the greatest to least, but sometimes they ask for least to greatest. Okay? And on this particular homework, we do have a test practice, which is really good to go over and do, because that way you're preparing and getting ready for that California testing that we do actually 2 times during the year. All right, our bonus question today is put these numbers in order, and let's do it from the least to the greatest. We have 12,325, 12,423, and 12,335.